Hello Warriors, this is Mars and welcome to another Destiny 2 PvP build video. Today I've got a code of the Devastator build that covers many different playstyles. This is more or less a guide on how to play Middle Tree Sunbreaker effectively and get the most out of the subclass. I will talk in depth about its strengths and weaknesses as well as weapon composition so you can dominate other combatants with your flaming hammers. Middle Tree is a fun subclass that does appear to be niche on the surface, but has its own strengths compared to the other trees. Before we go further into the video, I'd ask if you're interested in any Destiny 2 PvP content, please like the video and subscribe to join my merry band of hardened warriors. It really helps me out and helps the channel grow. I post about one Destiny video per week. Moving on, let's talk about the build. For starters, Devastator can be played in more than one way, so it wouldn't be an optimized build video if I didn't give you many different options. Personally, I'm an aggressive anchor dealing damage from afar. But if I'm close enough to knock your teeth out, be prepared for me to get a little aggro. For this build, I focus more on mods and stats than anything. My choice of exotic either supplemented regen, increased my ability damage and effectiveness, or made up for any lack of healing and survivability. So for stats, I focus primarily on my resilience because my rallying barricade will regen faster than anything else in my kit, and I could use my barricade to feed me grenade energy. I do this by using double bomber on my flame in elemental titan mark, which gives me grenade energy back whenever I use my class ability. This is also great in tandem with the stasis gauntlet mod grenade kickstarter, which gives you your grenade energy back whenever you used all your grenade energy. You also have the option of using the melee kickstarter mod if you are not consistently landing your hammers, anything that can feed you your resources back to you on this build through mods to benefit. Also, if you mainly focus on using shotguns or close combat weapons, I recommend using the hands-on mod for your helmet so you get the additional super energy on melee kills. I also feel that for most builds, Radiant Light and Powerful Friends are mandatory since they supplement your max stats. Next, let's jump into exotics and playstyle. If you're an anchor like me, you will find the most utility with exotics that support your playstyle. For example, I like the Precious Scars helmet, the Heart of Inmost Light, and the Hallowfire Heart. Precious Scars is great because you get health back after you get a weapon kill that has the same element of your subclass, and it also heals nearby teammates. Heart of Inmost Light is awesome on most Titan builds because it not only gives resources back faster, but also increases the effectiveness for all of your abilities, but only while you are using an ability. The Hallowfire Heart is also good for regeneration because it reduces the cooldown of all your solar abilities and charges even faster when your super energy is fully charged. I found these to be the most effective for my playstyle. Now let's say you like to be more aggressive. If you prefer to use close combat weapons, I advise using the Syntheseps or Dune Marchers just because they can chain damage multiple enemies, as well as Severance Enclosure due to its massive AoE that can potentially one-shot. Another route is using the Path of Burning Steps, just because they make it easier to increase your weapon damage stack by getting solar kills. Weapons, in my opinion, are preferential. Anything that gives you resources back is a plus, but in my opinion, I'm going for the most efficient damage possible to put me in a better position to get Roaring Flames activated sooner. In terms of weapon perks, I would go for anything that has Kill Clip, Multi-Kill Clip, Swashbuckler, Adrenaline Junkie, Wellspring, Thresh, Demolitionist, Time Payload, Explosive Payload, and Grave Robber, since they complement the build so well. Next, let's talk about hammer utility. So the hammers are pretty simple. If you have good accuracy, you can always land your hammers, but you need to know when and when not to use them as well. For starters, you need to be using them to clean up your gunfights and building up your Roaring Flame stacks. Your hammers with no Roaring Flame stacks will do damage averaging 117 to 125, basically enough to break shields. One stack of Roaring Flame will average 140 to 152, 2 stacks will average 180 to 189, and 3 stacks will average 230 to 260 depending on opposing Guardian's resilience. If you aren't getting the initial kill with your hammers or your grenades, then the Roaring Flame isn't going to become active. The subclasses rely on Roaring Flame being active in order for your abilities to have one-shot potential. So, the question is, all I need to do is get solar ability kills to get Roaring Flame active, correct? Pretty much. But it's not as easy as one thinks. A missed hammer or a poorly placed grenade means that it will take longer to activate your Roaring Flame ability. That's why I go for a setup that's more forgiving than trying to have a splash AoE. Don't get me wrong, Syntheseps and Dune Marchers and Severance Enclosure are great only if you are consistent. I believe having higher regen offers more utility to the build. Being able to regenerate your hammers and grenades faster can be a better strategy, especially in 6s. Also, you're reliant on retrieving your hammer after each kill, and from my personal opinion, that's fine in some situations. But retrieving that hammer in the line of fire can mean life or death. So before you go running after it, determine if it's worth your life or not. Or better yet, is it worth extending that stack of Roaring Flame, or making sure you can continue your kill streak, or can I use my grenade instead? Reviewing my own footage, I felt in some situations it was worth it, but there were definitely other situations where I would have definitely been better off forsaking the damn thing and just generating a new one, or just using a grenade instead. Speaking of grenades, I prefer to use the thermite grenade to section off hallways and the fusion grenade to deal with pesky shotgunners and to get quick picks. Thermites are fun on this build because they can hit twice in one burst, and their damage continues to rise as you gain stacks of Roaring Flames. These are perfect for keeping people off an objective, or just to get off some quick burst damage. Fusion grenades are also very solid, if not a bit too effective. I feel dirty using fusion grenades against unsuspecting targets, but not so much against aping shotgunners. Lastly, I want to talk about the effectiveness of super usage on this build. So the Great Hammer has a light attack and a heavy attack. The heavy attack is genuinely the best part of the build because of its erupting pyre that tracks opponents. Even if you don't see them, the pyre will track anything that is nearby, but it cannot track up walls. So if someone is on a different level vertically than you are, then you are at a disadvantage. The light attack is only an effective damage dealing ability when you have Roaring Flames times 3 activated. Other than that, I really don't suggest using it outside of being a movement tool. Titan skating into light attacks is a great way to cover ground, or light attacking to move yourself back into cover is the most effective way of keeping your character from ending up as Swiss cheese. Also, stay close to the ground. You are not designed to be in the air, so do your best to stick to the ground and weave around cover. Also, be mindful how you use your cover because your super is not going to regenerate any health outside of specific mods. Devastator super is also one of the longest supers to generate since it is a roaming super. So try to weave in as much super generating effects as possible. Another thing, people will jump in the air and avoid you like the plague, so make sure you're utilizing your element of surprise. Remember, you don't need to see your opponents in order to kill them. Spamming your hammer's heavy attack in their vicinity can be the best bet to secure kills. Well, that's the end of the video. I hope this video was helpful to all those trying out Middle Tree Sunbreaker, and I also hope you enjoyed some of the clips. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or share the video. It really helps me out, and if you feel up to it, subscribe and join my merry band of hardened warriors. We'd love to have you. Anyway, I hope you all enjoy the rest of the clips, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a happy holidays, and keep on slaying. Peace.